Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna at Daisy Station, a channel where we do oracle cards readings. And in today's lovely reading, we are going to see how do they feel about you. So if that's something you're interested in, then do stick around. If you're here for the very first time, welcome, very nice to have you. I do hope you enjoyed this reading and do put comments in the comment section below on how this one resonated with you. So we start off by having three lovely spreads. Spread number one, group number one with this cornelian stone. We have group number two with the rose quartz, and we have group number three with the Pivirotto stone. Hit the pause button and see which of the groups you resonate with. You can resonate with more than one groups, and that's also fine. You can watch two or all the groups if you would like to. The timestamps can be found in the description box below, as well as the information about the type of decks I've used in today's reading. So if you're interested in that, do check this out. Right, perfect. Let's go to the group number one. Welcome to today's reading, group number one. We are going to be covering the topics, three topics. So the first one would be the overall energy around this relationship. The second one would be the way they see you as a person. And the third topic would be what do they feel about how do they feel about your relationship. So group number one, that shows this beautiful cornelian. Let's see. What card are we starting with? The Waterfall, Inner Power, Confidence, Claiming Your Place. That's a really good card to choose. Let's see some runes and see what do they tell us about the situation. I always keep a selenite in my runes, so I put it here. And now I will draw three runes that show the overall energy between you two. So we have Fehu, we have Perto, and one more. We have Vunyo. It's a very nice runes to have in this reading. So based on the runes here, we have Fehu. I also put the image on the screen so you can see it better. That is a rune that represents a success and wealth and abundance. So off the bat, I can see that there is an element of success between you two. It could refer to the relationship just being an overall success. It could also refer to both of you having a really happy relationship. So that's something that is a really good element to have in a relationship. So you do have that, and there is like also an element of wealth between you two. So perhaps both of you are very well off in that sense, or have very well paid jobs, but there's like a lot of positive element here in this relationship. Perto is a rune of a cup, and when the cup spills, we don't know what's coming up. So there is also an energy of surprise around you too. So perhaps there's something maybe you have not yet discussed. There's some surprises waiting for one another, or you're generally a couple that likes to surprise each other with some gestures of kindness, because Vunyo is actually the rune that sort of represents the idea of hygge in Denmark, if you know that very popular term. But it's a feeling of happiness, of kind of being cozy and really comfortable. There is also a lot of like a fellowship between you two, so a lot of positive emotions. So I would say that of the top, this is a really nice kind of cozy relationship that you have together, that is also benefiting both of you, and you're sort of empowering yourself to become the better versions of yourself, which is a really nice thing to have. We also have the waterfall card that says inner power, unbridled confidence, claiming your place. So I see that card in relation to Fehu, which symbolizes the wealth, the well-being. So I feel like both of you in this relationship are very two strong personalities that together you kind of make this master couple, if you may. And I will start off with the Prism cards. So they will tell us how do they feel about your relationship, what type of feelings there are around. And then we will move on to the point number 2. How do they see you as a person? So let's see. Oops. Rejection. Interesting card to start with. Let's see what else. Oops. Sweetness. Sadness. Let's get one more. Oh. Ghost. Surrender. Perfect. So we have a sweetness card, so obviously a lot of love type of nice feelings there. But there are also feelings of rejection and sadness, and those two can come together. Card, but we also have the ghost and a surrender card. So how do we understand those cards in a setting of a very positive energy? I do believe, and this is what I'm getting from here, is that for you, so specifically from your side, perhaps you have experienced all of those emotions in your previous relationship, and somehow they are still a little bit present in this energy. So those are the feelings that are between you to the other counterparty knows that you have experienced those elements in your previous relationship because they are still present here. Now they know and they understand that those feelings have nothing to do with them, and they are not associated with their actions. As a matter of fact, as we saw within those runes, you create a very strong and very coupled, gathered, put together couple. But there are those topics present in your life from the past, and they are aware of those because they are still somehow surfacing every now and then, perhaps through some type of your actions or the things that you do or the exchanges that you are having. Now is nothing to worry about this setup primarily here, because we also have the sweetness card that sort of indicates that there is a lot of love and understanding, there is a lot of positivity. We also have the we also have the Vunya rune, which indicates a lot of positivity and nice feelings and real coziness. So this go really well together. So even though they are aware of those emotions that you carry with you around, they also have a lot of love. Now there is also a surrender card, so perhaps you might be a little bit withdrawn from this relationship in a way that you are sheltering yourself because you are afraid that the history might repeat itself. So you have had those negative, unfortunate experiences in the past, and now perhaps you are holding yourself back a little bit in this relationship as well. But this is not what I see from this particular relationship for you. So it's very unlikely that those situations would repeat in this relationship. I will put those aside. I will sort of group them together because they are a group of cards that come together. Let's take some cards from the Healing Waters Oracle cards, and two of those. And now I will take 3 more cards from the Moonology messages cards. So let's see what they have to say. Let's see what we got. The water carrier. What really matters, reflect, prioritize. And let it go. Release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. What a beautiful card. So off the bat, what we can see here, that those 2 cards are encouraging you to go, let go of the past and let go of your past feelings, all the sad, not so positive experiences that we have here. So those cards encourage you to do it, and the other person that you're with, the one that is in question here, and the type of energy that you have, they also see that you are working with that. So they see that you are working past it, right? They wouldn't stick around, you wouldn't have this beautiful, nice, positive energy if they knew that you were one foot still in your past relationship. So although they acknowledge and they understand that this has been a hard experience for you, they do have a lot of love and compassion to be there for you and to sort of prove you otherwise. So this is how they essentially see you as a person. Let's see about the Moonology. We have the Forgiveness card. We have New Moon Beginnings card, and we have the Self-Regulation card. Beautiful. And as always, those cards somehow manage to match each other. I will move the ones a little bit further up. So let's start with the Forgiveness, right? We have the Forgiveness card, and we also have Let It Go card. Again, we are forgiving. The way to let go of something is you only let go of something if you really forgive the situation. Sometimes we are not capable of understanding the situation, and sometimes we will not get all the answers that we really need to fully forgive in this regards. But we need to learn as people that sometimes we won't have all the pieces of the puzzle, and nonetheless we are forgiving the other person and ultimately letting go of that feeling. Letting go and forgiving is not about surrendering. That's a good thought. Letting go is not about surrendering. It's not about approving what the other person did to you. It's not approving the wrongdoing towards your person or the bad experiences that we have. Letting go is putting yourself higher up and beyond that. And the way that we can only let go once we forgive, especially if that is associated with a situation that didn't do us good in the past, and usually that is the case. Now, forgiveness is also not surrendering. Forgiveness is acknowledging that things didn't work out. Forgiveness is acknowledging that someone did something wrong, and even if they don't come to you and don't ask for forgiveness, you can still go ahead and forgive them, because we don't want this type of energies to linger behind us and really, keep us in the past. We want to move forward. We want to develop. We want to experience life and become our best selves. And this person knows that, and this person that you have in mind right now, they know that you are going through that process. There is also a beautiful New Moon Beginnings card, so that indicates that perhaps this relationship is quite fresh. or it stepped into a fresh phase right now. So maybe you just became more serious about each other, or maybe you just met and you're not a couple yet. But this card really indicates that this is a new beginning, and it enforces the message here that the new beginning does not resonate with what you have experienced here in the past. So you don't need to hold yourself back in this relationship. You don't need to withhold your emotions, because that person is not about all that. That person is all about the positive emotions, having a positive experience, really a lot of loving and accepting energy. They see that you are struggling, but they are there to give their kindness to you. They are there to give their love to you and offer their compassion, so you can move forward this experience. And they know that together you make a really special couple. And at last we have the self-regulation card. The self-regulation card is about self-expressing. Is about self-expressing, but also being very mindful in the way we self-express. It tells you, yes, go ahead and express yourself, but also be mindful about other people. This card is really encouraging you to speak up, but also speak up in a mindful way. And I do believe that, and do feel like that this card is still connected with your past experience. So when you communicate maybe on the same topics, it's absolutely normal that if we have a particular experience with something, let's say going and doing grocery with a person, and the feeling or the experience is not positive, and then when we are in with a new person in a new relationship, we sort of expect them to act the same way, because that's the last most valid experience we have from the relationship. So we sort of expect them to act in the same way, but at the same time we put on them the burden of the past relationship that has nothing to do with that new person. So something that you should be mindful of, and something you should understand, is that you need to communicate about these matters properly. And this card showed up because perhaps something in your communication comes a little bit off, and maybe not very considerate of the other person that you have in question. So it's not about taming and withdrawing. You are a very strong person. I can see that you are a very powerful and energetic and very well settled person, but there is something that bothers you, and when you communicate about this topic, maybe it's not your best self that communicates, but the emotions take over, and then the message does not really reach the other person in the way that you would like to. Maybe it could create a potential tension, so be mindful of that. So that's it for my lovely group number 1. Overall, very good reading. Let me know in the comment section below how did that resonate with you, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you liked it, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe and put a like button, and also press the bell so you get notified whenever I have another videos like that. Thank you so much, and love and light to you. Welcome to my lovely group number 2. Those of you that chose this beautiful rose quartz heart. Let's see what card you have. Thank you, gratitude, appreciating what's sustaining you. Very nice card. So in this reading, we are going to cover 3 topics. First, we're gonna draw some runes to see the overall energy between both of you. The second topic that we'll cover is how they view you as a person. And the third topic is how do they feel about you in the relationship, so what type of emotions there are around you. So let's start with picking up runes. I'm going to choose 3 runes for you. So we have 3 runes that came through: Sovilo, Hagalas, and Ingvas. And now let's see what do they talk about. I also put them here on the screen so you can see better. So Savila is a rune of the sun. It's embracing and powerful, positive rune of victory. Is a rune of really kind of happiness and all the positive feelings. And off the bat, I can see that this is related to the thank you card. That is saying gratitude, appreciating what is sustaining you. So essentially the energy that is in this relationship is very, there's a lot of thankfulness for each other, which is extremely extremely good. We also have the rune Hagalas, which refers to hail, and Hagalas as a rune is maybe not always such a positive rune, because it talks about essentially hail having this destructive power over crops, right? When it's hailing, things can get broken, crops can get destroyed in a way. So we're gonna see what is this about, but this one indicates that there may be a bit of a conflict. But what I want to say, and I've already did the whole reading and then realized my camera was not recording, so that's really great. But I would just say that the message halfway through the reading the message that came through halfway through the past reading, the one that I did not record, was that this rune not necessarily refers to only you, so the other person does not think that you're conflictive. This rune actually in this particular reading indicates that both of you have some sort of experiences that you're still battling with at the back of your head. You don't necessarily express them, so they do not result in an active conflict in this relationship. Those are just experiences you had in the past and that you're still sort of working through, and both of you know that you have this type of experiences. And at last we have Ingras, which refers to new beginnings, fertility, prosperity, right? So those two runes are extremely positive, and they let us know that you both empower each other, you make each other happy. This is also a fairly new relationship. I am inclined to say that, but it's also a relationship that really sets you off as on a good foot, and it really has potential to become something more than you would think. Let's have a look at your Healing Waters cards. I drew them and then I didn't record it, so we have two cards. The first one is Cosmic Ocean, Current Dreams, Future Realities, New Beginnings, which beautifully refers to Ingras as a card, as a rune, as it enforces the message that this might be a new relationship that you just stepped into. At the same time, this relationship maybe was like something you would envision as a dream. You would envision that maybe it's not possible to have this type of a relationship, but here you are and here you have it. So what was your dream now becomes your reality, and that's very very amazing feeling. That's why also you are thankful for this other person, and they are also thankful for you. And we have the Wishing Well, Unexpected Gifts, Kindness, and Karmic Jewels. So again, very positive card, saying that there will be a lot of positive exchange between both of you in this relationship, and you'll be creating something really special. Now let's look at the Prism cards, which again were drawn specially for this reading. And we have Success, we have Magic, and we have Happiness. So those are very beautiful messages, also referring to this wishing well and unexpected gifts and the current dreams, future realities card, which let us know that this relationship really creates a lot of emotions that are extremely positive and you didn't think maybe they were possible. Then we have two cards, one with frustration and the other with anxiety, but both of those cards are, maybe I put this here, related to Hagalas. because as I said in the beginning of the group number 2, these frustrations and these anxieties, they are not present as conflicts. They are sort of at the back of your head, working, doing its work, whilst you really enjoy the relationship and you really see, oh, there can be new ways and there can be better things ongoing about different topics, right? You still have those experiences from the past that are sort of replaying in your background on the back of your head, and you are healing those experiences. Both of you are aware of this happening in both of your heads, so that's really, really good. And at last, we're going to look at the Moonology cards. We have boundaries. We have forgiveness. And we have enchanted. Beautiful cards, very on point with what's happening here. So first of all, the situations that you found yourself in the past, that are those maybe not so positive experiences, partially they happened because you were not setting your boundaries. And by that I mean it looks like both of you were maybe a little bit passive towards the things that were happening. Maybe you said yes just to please the other person. Maybe you didn't, express and say, no, I really don't like that. This is not working for me, because you wanted to sort of please the other person. And as a result of that, you were having bad experiences. So this card is really encouraging you to set the boundaries, and also set the boundaries in this relationship, and really communicate clearly of what your expectations are, because that will be the key to the success in this relationship. There is also in forgiveness and enchanted cards, and both of those cards kind of talk about the same topic, and that's essentially forgiveness. So the enchanted card lets you know that you are in a very safe space right now to process all the things that caused distress for you in the past. And now you have the space and the security to work through those topics. What you can imagine here is, you can imagine and then being in the, maybe being in like an open space, a beach, or like an open space in the forest, and then you have those beautiful moonbeams lightening the area, and it's really nice and cozy and feels safe. This is the type of surroundings you have around you right now, so you're really encouraged to take advantage of that and really work through all the things that didn't serve you in the past, in order to be able to become a better version of yourself, and also have more positive impact on the relationship that you have now. There is also a forgiveness card, and it's a very powerful card that came through in the group number 1 as well. And I explain it that when you have to forgive something, when you're forgiving, it does not mean that you are approving of what other person did to you, and it also does not mean that you are that you're being submissive and you agree for what happened to you. When you're forgiving, you really take a step higher, and despite not being able to understand every single reason for why things happen this way, you decide and take an active choice that this is not going to be carried with you until infinity, and take a space in your head. You'd rather free up this space in your head and free it up for some new beautiful experiences, and not carry this burden around. We don't have to know every single variable to be able to forgive. It's sort of also like a project you carry. Sometimes you need to move on with the project. You cannot get hooked on every single detail. Very rarely we will know every single detail, especially around topics such as relationships. So you need to acknowledge that I will perhaps not know every variable here. I will perhaps not know every answer in this relationship, but I need to accept and move on and free up this energy for the new person and all the new beautiful things that are going to happen. And then, you know, your magic is going to happen. So that's it, my lovely group number 2. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I wish you all the best, and if you'd like to see more content like that, do click the notification button and feel free also to subscribe. And I hope to see you again in my next video. Have a great day. Welcome, my lovely group number 3, for those of you who chose this amazing Chironite stone. Let's see what card we have here. The sweet, sweet water, sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, balance. Beautiful. And let's draw 3 runes that will show us the overall energy between you. So we have the rune number 1, which is Nautis. I wasn't sure if it was Giva because they look very similar in a way. And I will also put it here on the screen so you will see. And this rune indicates a bit of a constraint, perhaps resistance, a bit of a delay and possible conflict, but we'll see what this is about. The second rune we have is a rune called Canas, which means torch, and it's beaming the light, and it means creativity, awakening, symbolizes growth, opening, illumination. So really positive aspect here. And the last rune we have is called Tivas, and it refers to a leadership, but also stepping into the leadership role, being a bit of a warrior, so having maybe a bit of an edge here, but also being very resistant. You can self-sacrifice yourself, and how beautiful this corresponds with the image here of a pregnant woman. And there is also an aspect of victory, but also being a bit logical, systematic. So let's see what all of this is about. And let's start by getting some Prism cards, which will help us to look at the type of emotions that is around you, and also look how beautifully they are shining. For a beautiful deck. I will link it or I will mention all the details in the description box below. But let's see what type of emotions are around this relationship. Oh, growth. And again, we have a pregnant lady here, so let's see. We have illumination. Let's get a couple more. Oops. Space. Peace. Let's take one more. And ghost. Right. So the space, peace, and ghost, they sort of go together, as I hear. And how should we understand those? It feels like the person that is in question right now um, perceives that you might not always be present. It's like you are nearly ghosting ghosting that person in a relationship, but you are not doing that to cause um any type of harm, or you don't have any ill intentions in mind by doing that. When you're doing that, you actually work on your own peace of mind. So we're gonna see what else comes up here. So why this particular feelings, most likely they will come through the next cards. But this other person can see that this happens, but they also understand in a way why this happens, and they are a little bit concerned. It's not like they are not. They are a little bit concerned. So let's see what we can make of it. And we have the illumination card and the Kenas rune. And Kenas essentially is like illuminating something, right? Because you beam the light on particular topics or matters. And this also let us know that you know where you're going, that you're determined. There's this growth aspect. So you are like the kind of a person that is having a strong sense of direction. So you know what you want from life. You go and get it. You are focused on the constant growth and expansion, and they see you as just that. So they see you as a very inspiring person because of those aspects. You are uplifting them in a way because they admire you for being that type of person. And when you're this type of an illuminating person, you also illuminate them as a result of that. So they are benefiting from this lovely illumination that is happening, because you help them create a clarity around themselves and help them understand what their goals and aspirations are. The reason also why they admire you for the growth aspect is because you are a rational person that can understand how to grow in this relationship, and also in life as a whole. So they also aspire to that, and you're ultimately showing them the way. You're kind of like leading them to be able to do that. And there is an aspect of sacrificing yourself, and the way you do that is by leading the way. So maybe you put your needs a little bit lower than your own needs, and you're helping that person to move forward. Just like when we think about pregnancy, right? And a mother having a child, mother then treats the child's needs as the primary needs, and then it will be her in terms of the needs. So you also have the same type of aspect in a relationship, that you are willingly giving yourself away to help the other person out, and they really appreciate that, and they see that you do that. Yeah, so it's a very positive setup that we have here. Now let's take some of the Healing Waters cards. So I'm going to draw 2 more. So maybe we can find out a little bit about this. And whilst at it, I'm also going to take 3 Moonology cards. The sacred well, replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. Beautiful, shall I say, and very on point here, because you are so illuminated, because you are so self-assured, and because you know what you're doing, and you're constantly expanding within yourself. Giving at this point is not something that drains you, right? Because when we give, we also need to be very careful so we don't drain ourselves from the energy. But you have an abundance of energy to give away to that particular person in this relationship, and that they see and they really appreciate. The pink dolphin, celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. So again, yeah, very positive. Very positive, my lovely group number 3. What I gather from this is that they really appreciate you, and really they love you as a person. Like, you're the light of their you're genuinely the light of their life at this very moment, and they aspire to be like you. And let's see what we have here. So we have the focus card, we have embrace uncertainty, embrace uncertainty, and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. This is the only word I cannot pronounce. And the law of attraction. Beautiful. Love that for you, my group number 3. Let's start with the love of attraction. Because you are like the sacred well and you have this abundance of energy to give, you're also in a very high energetic place, which means you are like a magnet. Whatever you want happens. You are like the actual magnet for anything that you want, and the other person sees that and they're like, wow, this is really happening, this is absolutely amazing. And that also contributes a tremendous growth for both of you, so that's really beautiful. We have the focus card and we have the embrace uncertainty card, and I would believe, I hear that that those two cards are in this area right here. Right, so let's move to those two cards and the 3 here, because they come together with the Naughty's rune. And look, here is a thing. Because you are such a powerful person that can manifest about anything, looks like also you are very eager to get things moving and keep them moving, and you're really moving at the high pace. Now, perhaps the aspirations and whatever you're manifesting at this very moment is bigger than those smaller manifestations. Let's say you manifest getting $10. It's probably easier to manifest that than manifest getting 1 million, right? So some of our manifestations might need a little bit more time, and there's this sense of getting impatient because you manifest something, you're such a powerful manifester, but that doesn't really come through as fast as other aspects that you have manifested. And that creates a bit of a confusion in you, and the other person sees that. Now, it would help them to be at peace if they knew it's not about them, because it feels like this confusion has nothing to do with them. It's happening for you, in you, but it has nothing to do with them. It just has something to do with you being a little bit uncertain what's going to happen, because maybe the things that you manifest are not coming fast enough. And when you become a bit, uncertain, you also lose your focus in a way to keep on going. So those two cards really encourage you to step out from that type of energy. Maybe you're also manifesting something for this relationship to happen that is a little bit too soon. So these cards here encourage you to step out from that, or tap out, or allow and accept that sometimes we need a little bit more time to see the reality unfold the way we want to, and embrace the fact that it's uncertain. At the end of the day, we're going to be receiving what is the most beneficial for us, and those cards here, they are encouraging you to embrace this feeling of being uncertain, but also keep your focus at the same time, right? So we don't want to get distracted. Just because something does not come this very moment, it does not mean that it's not coming like ever in your life. Some things are just bigger and they need more time to cure and to be delivered to us. Perfect. So the overall idea here with Nautis and those Ghost in Space card is the fact that the other person can feel those type of feelings, but they are not sure whether it's concerning them or not. And if it's not, then you can communicate about it openly. Even if it is about them, also do communicate about them openly, because this person has really great feelings towards you, and whatever in terms of doubts you have there, they'll be able to work through that with you, especially because most likely you already know what has to happen to overcome that situation here. Yeah, so that is it for you, my lovely group number 3. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Let me know in the comment section below how did that resonate with you, and feel free to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this time spent with me today, and if you'd like to see more videos of such on my channel. Thank you so much, sending a lot of love and light to you, and I hope to see you next time.